Hello, welcome back to the channel. Today it's another what's wrong with this one. The vehicle in question is a 2016 BMW 320i with the F30 chassis code thing, I would think. Now this is my nana's, and just the other day she had a drivetrain error message come on at the heads up display, the infotainment centre, whatever you want to call it. Reduced performance, but you can continue your journey. So I did scan it yesterday and there was two fault codes. Both were relating to the clutch. One was clutch extremely worn, clutch extremely damaged. First problem I had is the scanner I was using is a bit out of date, so I'm just heading now to borrow one that's hopefully latest software. Yeah, when you're driving, if you're sort of easy on the throttle, you can usually sort of drive okay, but if you're sort of anything more than 3/4 of the way down the travel, once it starts climbing, you know, 2.5, 3 grand, it's sort of, just the power just goes. Now I have done a bit of research. Apparently there's some sort of electronic device in the hydraulic line for the slave cylinder, which is to aid people that can't use a clutch properly. I think if the engine or something detects that the clutch is slipping, I'm guessing it cuts the hydraulic pressure to the release bearing to the clutch, and that in turn disengages the clutch from the engine. I haven't had a look under this yet, so I'm not entirely certain what's going on. Like I said, the first thing is scanner, double check the fault codes. I'm going to get underneath, take some covers off, see if I can get a smell of burnt clutch. If I do, then them two things are sort of adding up to the gearbox needing to come out, and then inspecting the clutch plate. Maybe the flywheel has got excessive movement in it. I've got a feeling it's going to be a dual mass due to the age of it. So we'll drive to my mate's garage, my acquaintance's garage. A garage where I can borrow an up-to-date scanner. Let's go. Right, so these are the codes we've got then. Even though the scanner I've got is sort of just out of date, only goes to 2015. This is a 2016 model. It wouldn't sort of self-identify the engine control unit, but I chose one manually, and we are getting these fault codes, so that's good news. Right, so it has allowed me to clear them two codes as well. I'm going to take it for another spin and see if I can hopefully feel the clutch slipping without this sort of electrical fucking system in the slave cylinder backing off the fucking clutch basically. And then we maybe get it jacked up, have a look underneath, get some under trays off, see what's going on. Right, I'll just try and show you this. So foot to the floor, revs fucking creep up, you hear the turbo sort of do its thing, but the car doesn't seem to go anywhere. And then I think that valve in the fucking hydraulic line is obviously closing and cutting off the clutch fluid pressure, which is then causing what I say is hesitation or a cut in power, which is what you'll get if the clutch just disengages suddenly. I think we're going to be ripping this gearbox out, to be honest. 30,000 miles though. 30. It's mental. Right, the clutch is out, and the first thing I noticed was sort of the colour of this friction plate. A bit of blue in the metal, which usually means it's got hot, generally caused by slipping of the clutch. Also, I mean, I've seen worse, but if we flip it over, you can see there, look, it's been slipping, and this material is almost worn down to the rivets there. So yeah, I think clutch is the fault. which, I mean, yeah, I was hesitant because of the age and the low mileage it had done. It's only done 30,000 miles. But then when you think the owner is 87, I think, you know, weak legs perhaps, or pain in the legs, I don't know. I haven't asked, to be honest. I didn't want to insult her and say, you know, you can't drive properly. She's been driving probably longer than I've been born, so yeah, we won't go there. But compare it to the new clutch. There is loads more meat on that. So hopefully, yeah, get this in and it'll drive. To be honest, obviously I cleared the cords last time around. She said she didn't have any trouble, no warnings on. I drove it back, and when I was sort of flooring it, it was alright. You know, up through the revs. It was when you were low down, sort of fourth gear, 30, 40 mile an hour, and you put your foot down, and the low down torque, it was then that it was obviously detecting the slip and then backing off the clutch. And with that in mind, I didn't see this sensor in the slave cylinder that I'd read on the forum. Whether they meant the clutch master cylinder, I don't know. But hey, we'll get this chucked in, and I'll yeah, come back when we're on a test drive, and hopefully with it fixed. We're 6th gear. This is when it was doing it, when you're low down in the torque band. It's pulling right through now. There's no sort of cutting out of the power, basically. Clutch isn't being disengaged. Still haven't found the solenoid or the valve which controls that yet, so might have a look under this sort of footwell area and see if it's on the master cylinder. I'm intrigued at how it works. But yeah, I've just driven maybe 4 or 5 miles. It hasn't slipped once, nothing, not a hiccup, so I'm pretty confident we've fixed it.